Welcome back, and thank you for joining for another whiskey review. Today, we're going to do a whiskey that I did way back in Whiskey Review 44, but I thought it'd be good if we could revisit it with my good friend Keith from the Malt Man Cave.
I get to mooch.
This time, you get to taste it with me. The Highland Park 25.
So good.
Bang. One of my favorite whiskeys, as you know.
It's amazing. It is amazing. It's really sad to see what Highland Park is doing to some of their lower level stuff right now, but their properly aged whiskeys are amazing. Just absolutely breathtaking.
Keith, and you know how much I love this whiskey. I was able to pick up one at the party source for $4.19, which still isn't a cheap whiskey, but still a discount on what this is.
Because you can see it for like $600-700, depending on where you live or other countries or taxes.
Oh man, or if you can see it at all.
Yeah.
To get the HP 2.5. And I think I've always told you, as far as a readily available...
Is it really that hard to get? Oh.
I got to do it. You don't even sell them now. Like, I have to go to another state to get it, or get it online, which is becoming harder and harder. So, as I've told you many times, of regularly available whiskeys, now I just said it's hard to get, and now I'm saying regularly available, but something that's every year they put it out.
Right.
This is my...
Relatively
easy available whiskey. This is my favorite whiskey to drink.
So good.
Because it has all kinds of balance and has a lot of what flavors I like, and it doesn't matter what time of the year, whether it's warm or whether it's cold.
It's dessert in a stinking glass that gets you tipsy.
Oh, buddy, I'll tell you what.
It's amazing.
So this HP 25 Highland Park, they're on the island of Orkney, which is sort of northeast of, say, like where the Speyside area is in Scotland. Known for balance, I would say. Yeah. You know, a little bit of that smokiness, a little bit of that heather honey, sweetness, a few other things. We'll get into all that. But Highland Park in general is known for as far as being a very balanced whiskey. This particular one comes in at a 45.7% ABV, uncolored and unchill filtered. And buddy, let me look at this color. I tell you what, in my lifetime, I've owned Highland Park 18s. I've owned 21, which I gave to you, which you drank it all and didn't review. I've done 25.
I couldn't resist myself. I have like 20 whiskeys ahead of it that I have to review, and I was just sitting there, I was like, I really want some Highland Park 21 sherry right now.
I had one Highland Park 21 my entire life. I begrudgingly gave Keith the end of it so he could review it, and instead you just drank it on the whim like you're the king of England. Highland Park 21 today.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
I like the sound of that.
But the 21, the 25, and the 30 to me are completely different animals when it comes to Highland Park. I've had them all. All of them have a really nice candy note, but I tell you what, this 25 is probably my favorite. And
it is candy. It's not. It is candy. It's not just candy.
And let's get into why. All right, so I got the basics out of the way. Highland Park Distillery, uncolored, unchill filtered. 45.7% ABV, which is down from the 48.1 they had a few years back. But I got to tell you, I don't feel like complaining today, Keith.
No.
I don't feel like complaining. Let's get into this, my friend.
I get right away fudge, marshmallows,
cherries,
candied cherries. Like you get like cherry pie topping, like where it comes like the cherries, but there's also that little like cherry gel in with it. Oh, so good.
There is both a cookie crust crumble smell to it.
Do you think that's from the bourbon cask?
I don't know. Might be from...
Did you go over the...
cask maturation?
Yeah. Okay,
let's talk a little bit of the cask maturation. So it's a combination of bourbon barrels and sherry casks. The 25-year-old has the most first fill sherry casks of any Highland Park normally released. It's up to 50% first fill sherry.
Good sherry cask.
Good sherry cask. Look how dark that is.
Just some crappy...
I mean, it's not as dark as like a Glendronach 18 or a Macallan 18, but it's maybe just a notch or two below, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it's not, I mean, it's not 100% first fill sherry, you know? So it's not going to be quite as dark as some of those that are like 100%.
Sure, but again, 50% first fill sherry.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. That's a ton. That's a ton of first fill sherry, and you get that on the nose. Oh, you get that sweetness.
It's more cherry than I mean, it's more of the sherry influence than the bourbon, definitely.
Without a doubt. It's
but even the bourbon cask, I feel like they were like really, really, really good bourbon cask. that just add another layer of complexity that makes it truly special. So then underneath all of that, like the fudge, the marshmallows, the cherry, you get, there's like a little bit of floral.
Man, how do you miss the white chocolate?
No, I get a frosting / white chocolate. I was going to say frosting, but I can see white chocolate.
Yes. It's like
it's kind of a similar type, you know.
Yeah, it's like a pie or a cake, almost. It's almost like I have crumble. I have a slight bit of citrus, maybe like a slight mandarin or tangerine.
Yeah, a little bit of orange, barely.
Light citrus. Definitely honey.
Apple and cinnamon.
Oh my God.
And I didn't, the first couple times I drank this, I did not get any of that. But now on top of all those amazing sherry notes, the chocolate, like the fudge, the marshmallows, the cherries, there's like a whole other coating underneath that's all the bourbon. Like apple, cinnamon, pears.
The sweetness on this one is almost like a Lafroig or a Lagavulin in terms of smoke. Yeah. Like there's so much smoke in a Lagavulin or a Lafroig, like it kind of, you got to dig through it because it's the predominant smell.
Yeah.
This one, the predominant smell is just sweet, candied, fudge. I feel like I'm at a fair or a carnival.
But with enough of that kind of earthy, peaty note underneath to make it not be too sickly sweet.
Oh yes,
it balances it out.
This is, I wouldn't say the edge of sweetness, the perfect amount of sweetness.
Gosh.
It's really, I'm not, you know, I like Scotch, I like drier whiskeys, Islay whiskeys. This is, to me though, the perfect amount of sweetness in a whiskey.
Oh yeah.
And again, that heather honey's coming up now.
I get a little sparkling grape juice, the non-alcoholic that people open for like.
I've never tried that in my life.
Never?
You think I'm going to drink non-alcoholic
sparkling
white
I came
wine?
from a family of teetotalers. They wouldn't drink alcohol.
Mystic Mist from the 90s.
I have let them down sincerely with my alcohol intake. Although my dad drinks with me now. He'll come over and I have to like hide the good stuff because he does it. If he really appreciated it, I'd give him the good stuff, but he does it. So.
I mean, he wants it. He just doesn't appreciate it.
And I do. Sometimes I give him good stuff.
That's always
not all the time.
That's something I struggle with all the time too. I have all these great whiskeys. I want people to be impressed, but you know,
I'm not giving it to just anybody. So you gotta actually like appreciate it.
You gotta appreciate it, right? Well, I have a brother-in-law that loved Macallan 12, and then he came over here, and I gave him a little bit of Macallan 25, and I said, "All right, this is the 18."
You gave him some of the 25.
Yeah, and I said, "How does this compare to the? How does this 18-year-old compare to the 12?" And you know what he said? "Can't tell the difference." I'm like, no,
"You're dead to me.
I'm never giving you a good whiskey.
You will
again.
never touch my whiskey ever again, sir.
Never give me good whiskey." But speaking of good whiskeys,
because that's like $100 for like one of those, like a dram, right?
Isn't it family, man? You can't pick them. Can't pick your family. All right, but this HP 25, which again, super sweet, vanilla, pastries, brown sugar, super sweet brown sugar.
Yep, molasses.
Yes. But you know, now that we've been sniffing on for a minute, I'm getting a slight nuttiness.
Yep.
A little bit of almond.
I was going to say that earlier when I was saying fudge. It almost is like peanut butter fudge. Like almost that Nutella peanut butter type.
Yeah, I can see that. Or did you ever have like the fudge brownies with like walnuts in it? Yeah, something like that. It's kind of like fudge brownie with walnuts.
Yep.
And sugar icing. And pastry crumbles.
It's just so creamy. It's all like marshmallow fudge, peanut butter, all that, and it's like.
But do you ever go to Dairy Queen when it's the fall and they have a special blizzard called the Pumpkin Pie Blizzard? They only have it around like Halloween time, right?
But I have had a Shamrock Shake.
Those are delicious too.
St. Patty's Day. Those are amazing.
Those are delicious. You have to try the Pumpkin Pie Blizzard. Do you look like you lost weight?
A little bit, slowly. Been drinking less. Stopping my eating binges at night.
That's the key. Put down the cereal. All right, so with this one, I'm getting all that fair confectionery like type smells like that I'm at like the Circleville Pumpkin Show. I have a Dairy Queen Pumpkin Pie Blizzard. I got the pie pieces in here, a little bit of that cinnamon spice from the pumpkin, a little bit of whipped cream on top. Buddy, I'm going in. This is when you just don't want to swallow. Instantly, when you swallow, sweetness, white chocolate, vanilla, and as you exhale, just a lovely soft smoke that has a ridge of honey the whole time.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's all the stuff you get on, the nose. It's fudge, Nutella, peanut butter, chocolate. It's marshmallows. It's a little bit of like raisin or grapes, just barely lurking in the background.
There is a little bit of a raisin note, or almost like a
raisiny, grapey.
Yeah,
something.
or almost like a red grape.
Yeah.
Not like a white or the green grapes, but like a red grape sort of.
And it's more the heather honey on the palate. Almost like I've had like heather honey, almost like black tea that had honey in it.
Yes, the black tea, I'm getting that too.
And then you get some of that bourbon influence.
And it's dry.
Cinnamon apple / Did you say pumpkin? You actually feel like you get a little pumpkin?
No, not pumpkin. I said pumpkin pie blizzard, but some a little with the spiciness, the cinnamon spiciness from it. So you get the pie crust in that pumpkin pie blizzard, and you get the whipped cream on top. So it's like the sweetness of the whipped cream, it's the pie crust filling, it's the sugar in it, and just like a little bit of cinnamon. No pumpkin smell, but just to kind of give you a treat that sort of incorporates some of the same flavors.
I totally get all that. There's a nice. It's not too spicy. It's spicy. It's got a nice little kick, but it's not like overly. Because sometimes some whiskeys, they can get like, holy crap, it's too spicy almost.
Yeah.
Like spiky.
Yeah, it's a sweet spice.
Yeah.
Sweet, sugary spice.
And then it just ends like creamy, like you're sucking on frosting. Like, the stuff, have you ever made a gingerbread house?
Oh, yeah.
I do it every year with my daughter.
Yeah.
And I'm always like sucking on the frosting.
Dad, why don't we have a roof?
It's funny, but I think that happened when we ran out of frosting.
What happened to the back door in the garage? Well, before we too far in this video, I have to thank not only a subscriber, but a recent friend of mine, Dustin.
Great guy. Love Dustin.
D-Silv, very adamant or very involved in the whiskey community. And he lives in Cincinnati, and him and I will meet every once in a while. I'll get some bottles, from around there, and if I can get a good price on a bottle, I try to pass along that to him. But he sent me a text about a month ago and said, Mike, I know you're a huge HB25 fan. They have them on sale here at the party store. So you want me to pick one up? So this guy buys one, not a cheap bottle, and sits on it for 3 weeks until I drive down there to get it for me. So Dustin, thank you, my friend. It's good seeing you again today. We had some nice drinks and had some good conversations.
He knows his stuff too.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
got a really good whiskey collection.
Lots
of Springbanks.
That's why you like him. He does have a good whiskey collection, but his whiskey collection is heavy Springbank. So, yeah.
So he's smart, unlike this guy.
Right. I thought he was your distant cousin the first time I met him. It was a Springbank tattoo, I think, that got me.
I still haven't got it yet. I'm going to get it.
I know you are.
Soon.
Yeah. We'll have Billy do it.
No.
We'll do a whiskey review of Bill.
Jacking it up.
Yeah, you're his favorite.
He loves it.
All right. We've added a little bit of water to this one.
Yeah.
Tell me if you're picking up anything different.
Did you add it in? I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, the whole time.
All right.
We can watch the video later. I promise I did. To me, I'm getting a little bit more smoke. Now they threw a little bit of water in there, and I'm getting just a little bit more of the honey.
Yeah.
But again, pastries, brown sugar, white chocolate.
It's a really strong, like all the other amazing things we said already. And then there's like a little bit more charred oak, like peat.
Yes.
Charred oak.
Yeah, so when I said peat earlier, a little more peat, a little more oak. It kind of took down some of the more predominant flavors with a little bit of water, so you're getting even more what's there as far as complexity. I could smell on this for just an hour before I drank.
You know what it is?
Give it to me.
And I've never said this before. Honeysuckle.
Yeah.
Which I imagine, we don't have heather here. I know it's a lot.
We have honeysuckle here, but not
I know,
honey.
but do we have, is there anywhere in North America that has heather? Heather?
I don't know. Tell us in the comments section.
Because obviously in Scotland they have the heather honey. But to me, yeah, it totally smells like honeysuckle.
Yeah. God, such a good whiskey. Such a good whiskey. Now, I brought this to you again probably 2 years ago. Billy and I did Whiskey Review 44, but this is a rare whiskey that I don't mind re-reviewing. This is kind of how my palate changed, because back then in Whiskey Review 44 is my favorite whiskey in the world. It's holding up well. It's holding up well, I got to tell you that. May have had a few that were more complex, but as far as the enjoyability of drinking this whiskey, it's such an enjoyable whiskey to have. It's dessert. It's definitely something you want to have probably after dinner. You know, it's not something you want to pair with like meats or fishes or anything like that. Well, you could.
I'd have it before too, though.
Yeah,
That's how good it is before and after.
You having dessert first? Is that how we do it?
Exactly.
It's not a bad idea. All right, so I'm taking the last little sip, and then tell me what else you're getting on the nose while I'm chewing on this Highland Park. As the Highland Park guy says, if you're ever watching their videos, you chew on it, and you chew on it, and you chew on it.
Chew. I'm
not going to chew, but I tell you what.
So, again, it's all that stuff. It's the fudge, it's the marshmallows, it's slight grapey raisin note, the honeysuckle, slightest bit of shard oak or peat. It's up there almost, it's so in between like shard toasted oak and peat that it's like I can't even really discern it.
Did you ever see the, you're younger than I am. When I was a kid, Winnie the Pooh was still a cartoon that was shown on Sundays.
Yeah.
All right? And in like the intro, right? At some point, like he gets a beehive out of a bee, or out of a tree. And the bees are flying around, but that's what bears do. And he's sitting there and he's just dipping his hand into the beehive and just pulling out honey and eating it. Now, the way he looked when he was enjoying that sugary candied honey straight from the hive is the way I think I look
when you're drinking
I'm drinking this Highland Park
so
25, because it is just a honeyed, sugary pastry masterpiece.
Topped with frosting.
Topped with frosting, a little cherry.
So good.
I'm still calling this. My first whiskey score, I believe, I gave it a 95 out of 100. I'm gonna bring it down a notch and give it a 94 out of 100. But this holds up that well after all that time. 94 out of 100, Keith. What you got for me? Give me a score and give me.
Before you said that, I was planning to give it a 95 in my head.
I gave it the first time. I just want to change it up for the sake of transparency. I mean, again, I've had some really good whiskeys since then. Something maybe just bring it down to 94.
There's maybe only 2 or 3 or 4 other whiskeys that are even close to comparing to how good this is that I've had. I've probably had over 1,500 different single malts. Like, I've had a crap ton.
Yeah.
And there's only a couple that are even close to being in the conversation with this one.
Are any of those whiskeys is readily available, and can you get them for 420 bucks?
There's a couple that are actually a little bit cheaper.
Okay. There we go. Well, we'll talk about those at another time.
but this one,
well, this one's extremely good.
This one is amazingly delicious, but it's pretty expensive.
It is. It's a pricey one. But again,
some of us have to feed our children, Mike. $419 every.
Some of us left the children on the side of the hill like the Spartans. Kidding. I don't have children. But yeah, I'm at 94. What do you say you're at?
95.
95 out of 100. Best island whiskey you've ever had?
Island?
Is it better than the Talisker 30? I say yes.
Oh, yeah.
Heads and tails.
Yes, better.
I know. See, it's all
Talisker 30 is really good, but it does not get close to this.
Yeah, no, this one's a real winner. And again, if you guys can get your hands on this, I would definitely recommend it. Again, for early available whiskey, especially one that's only at 45.7% ABV, it drinks smooth, but the viscosity and the mouthfeel on it feels like it's at least 46, if not 50% ABV. It's a good one.
Did they chill filter this one?
Nope. It's not. The 25 is not chill filtered, not colored. My God, checks all the boxes. If it was cask strength, I probably couldn't afford it.
So good.
It wouldn't mean I wouldn't buy it.
That might be my favorite. That probably would be the best whiskey.
This
at cask strength.
I'll tell you what, Cadenhead made a Highland Park 28 year.
That was really
good. There was 55.5% ABV. It was just a sherry cask and it was super sweet.
I had some of it and it was really good.
I tell you what, if Highland Park wasn't constrained by the balance thing, they could make some of the sweetest sherry bombs in the business.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, thank you for once again joining us for another whiskey review. And until next time, I'll see you in the comment section. And Keith, what do we want to wish the people?
Happy drinking.
Happy drinking. Have a good one.